This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a senior home coach? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Robin McCoy with Relax. I got this. Robin, lovely to have you on. How's it going?
Thank you so much for having me. While it's hot outside, having a very good Tuesday afternoon.
Well, happy to hear it. Now we're excited to learn more about you and what you do. So tell us a bit about your company.
Well, Relax, I Got This is kind of an umbrella of a lot of different things. I've been a real estate agent here in DFW since 2008. So maybe not known for my timing, but I have persevered through that time. And over the last few years, I've developed a division of my company or my real estate practice where I focus on seniors and their families and help coach them through that whole process of how do I, move into a smaller place? How do I get rid of all my things? How do I sell my house and move into something different? All the things that go into, I call it an act 3, that transition into act 3 of our lives without as little stress as can be, handled there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a goal to work towards. Now, what led you into even the real estate business?
Well, years ago, I was in retail for a long time, selling retail here locally with a major chain. And I just was honestly getting tired of working in retail. I was getting tired of working in retail and standing on my feet all day and, kind of at the mercy of somebody else's schedule, if you will. And actually, I spent an afternoon working with a client and furnishing their house, and she was a real estate agent. And we spent all Saturday talking, and that sounded interesting to me. And then the next thing you know, I have my license and I'm selling real estate. So that's how real estate started. Now, senior home coach was much later. About 3 years ago in 2023, we went through a situation with my mother. As most of our senior home coaches out there do, it's usually something they witness, something that touches them personally, that they realize there's a need out there. And with my mom, and I talk about this a lot, is she lost her mobility, was unable to stand and walk, and we had to move her in urgency. And there were hospital stays and rehabs and trying to find a place where she could live and be, people there to take care of her and meeting all of her needs. And once we got through that and we got our heads above water again, realizing that if I didn't know what to do as the adult daughter, with resources on with people that knew how to do all of this, then there were a lot of people out there that didn't have my resources and didn't know what to do, or there were seniors out there without family to help them. And so I kind of dove into this aspect and learned everything I could about it.
Wow. Now, since your industry is 2 different things wrapped up into one, what do you feel people most get wrong about what you do?
I think when people, especially if we're talking about the senior portion of this, I think people think I'm just in it for the transaction and kind of that, well, call me when you're ready, that I've got a sign in the back of my car and I'm just trying to get to that transaction. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, I get paid when the house sells. That is how I feed my family and all of those things. And yet I know that this is a harder transition than someone, say, that just had their 3rd kid and they need a bigger house, or somebody that is buying their first house. It's a different process. There's a lot of different emotions. And so I, as the realtor, understanding that sometimes people think the realtor is the last person you need because the house is the last thing that is going to I hate to use the word liquidated, but that's kind of, we've sold the things, we've moved mom. Now the house is the last thing we need to deal with. The realtor actually knows all the people to get you from A to Z. And so sometimes we are really, just by the nature of what we do, we have relationships with so many people, and we know the questions to ask and get answered.
Wow. So even though the title is real estate agent, really sounds more like you're a consultant in that space.
Yes, very much a guide, a consultant, senior home coach, right? And understanding that when it comes time to downsize your house, that doesn't mean you're running off. You're automatically have to go to Sunny Acres assisted living or, off to the nursing home or whatever that is. Sometimes coming out of a 4,000 square foot house into a 1,600 square foot single family, that's downsizing. So sometimes it's just going from the big house that needs a lot of maintenance or may not be suiting your lifestyle today. It may just be going into something that's a little more suitable to what you want as an individual. Doesn't mean you're moving into the nursing home.
Now, as a senior home coach, why is it so important that individuals and families have one? And what's the biggest benefit to it?
I think it is because, like I mentioned before, we know kind of the pathway. I think a lot of times what happens is, unfortunately, a lot of these situations, I'm called in as the realtor in the sense of urgency, right? Something's happened. Somebody got sick. Somebody fell. Somebody passed away. A lot of different things happen. And that's when I get my call. And that's an urgency. I would love to talk with someone today and help them make that plan on what they need to do when they are planning on making a change in 6 months or a year, right? What do you need to do so that you can hit that goal next summer? And let's make it smooth and easy, not chaotic and urgent.
I love that approach. Now, we know marketing is at the heart of every great brand. So speaking of, who are you really looking to reach and how are you attracting them today?
Networking, just like most realtors, right? It's all in the people we know and the relationships we build. And so I would love if the people in the senior industry, and it's coming that way, we tend to work in silos, right? So you've got your home care people, you've got your senior living people, you've got your senior transportation, you've got real estate agents, you've got lenders that may be doing reverse mortgages or bridge loans, so we all have our silo and we tend not to bring them together. And I think by bringing everybody together under the same conversation, then we can help that senior a lot better, because now I know home care companies, or I know bridge loan lenders or reverse mortgage lenders, whatever it might be for the individual, that if more of us in the industry work together, we can help those seniors and their families a little more smoothly is a word, but that's not really the word I'm looking for. But we can make a better plan and make that transition maybe a little easier for everybody. Also, I'm looking at the senior themselves and their adult children, and let's start having some of these conversations that we need to have before we're in urgency. And if you don't know how to have those conversations, I can kind of help with that as well.
Now, Robin, before we wrap up, what closing statement would you really like people to hear from you about your company?
It is really that we do start with our heart. We start with our heart. Transactions are important because, again, we all have a job to do. And yet, we want to be there at the beginning to help you make the best decisions that you can going forward. So just because you're not ready to sell your house today, we still want to be a part of your conversation early and understand nobody is going to pressure you to sell your house until you're ready. I can't make you sell your house. So it's okay. I can help you get through the barriers that may be in front of you and kind of move some of those things from one side to the other, making that path.
Finally, where can listeners go to learn more about you?
Well, of course, I have a website, relaxigotthis.com. I also have a podcast that I've been doing for quite a while that shares all kinds of different information, everything from how to handle even dementia to traveling solo to what does downsizing, what are senior living, all the things. And it's called Relax, I Got This, Embracing Life After 60. And you can find that wherever you find podcasts. You can find it on YouTube, all those sorts of things. And you can call me, and I'm on all the socials. I'm on all the things.
Well, Robin, I really appreciate you being on the show today. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much. And I am just here to help anybody I can.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com. Or call 469-221-9345.